What's happening, legends? Welcome back to the Becoming Reborn podcast. Today, we're talking about how to become a consistent person. And in particular, we're going to be talking about systems.
Ooh,
Patrick,
nice.
what's happening?
I was just putting my phone on Do Not Disturb.
Oh,
but
yeah.
that's okay.
I probably should do the same.
Yeah, that's all right.
Chloe will try and call me. She always does.
How to become a consistent person. I don't really like talking ourselves up a lot, but I think in this area,
We talk about ourselves all the time.
I can comfortably talk us up a lot because say what you want about us, Travis. One thing we absolutely are is consistent.
Yeah.
Guaranteed.
We don't
Guaranteed.
miss.
When's the last time you missed a day of exercise?
Not since Ace was born.
Ace is 8.
Some sort of movement every single day.
You got to get out more, bro. But consistency is key, and it's probably fair to say, big reason for Reborn's success.
Yes, I think so. I've talked about this with a lot of people before. Like I definitely am not the smartest person in the room, and I'm happy being like that. And I'm definitely not, the person that can articulate their words the best. But there's one thing that I'm very good at. It's being consistent and on end, rep on rep. And it's something that I wasn't very good at when I was younger. I was very inconsistent. I was good for a month, good for 3 months, but I could never put it together long term. I remember making the mindset shift when I got home from rehab, and would have been within probably the first 6 months. It was like I was always looking for the short term fixes, and then once I got back home from rehab, I was like, no, I got to play the long game.
You use that line a lot.
Yeah. And then since then, like I've always just kind of gone, all right, let's not worry about what it does today. Let's worry about this effect that I'll have in like 5-10 years from now.
And the line there, systems over willpower, that's a big part of consistency. And that has shown a lot with us in business.
Yeah.
We do a lot, and a lot of people are a bit shocked when they see everything that has to be done in a week to be able to run a gym like Reborn. I remember a lady who was a member here and went and opened up a Pilates studio. Do you remember me having this conversation with you? And she launched it and it blew up and it went really well. And I remember chatting to her 12 months down the track, and she said, I thought once I'd launched it, I could then go back to my other job and then just kind of have that running on the side. And she goes, and I didn't realize that like once it had opened and we got 300 members in, she goes, that's when the work started. She goes, I didn't know how much went into running a business like that. And we often have, not often, but have in the past had trainers come and work for Reborn, and a month or two in kind of get a bit rocked around, this is too much, this is relentless. And the way we are able to keep up and be so consistent is because of our systems. We know every day, every hour almost, what we're doing and what always needs to be done. And we've systemized it instead of just kind of winging it and going, oh, okay, we'd better do some retention stuff today. And, oh, yeah, we haven't had any sales in the last week. I better do some sales on this Tuesday. It's like every single day there's our system set of what we have to do to take the guesswork out of it.
Yeah. And to give like the people out there like a bit of an idea, like we have a Monday meeting, we have a Thursday upskill, we don't change. They're the set times every single week, and we go through this exact same thing every single Monday, and it's just end-on-end accountability. Like we obviously go through Reborn's numbers, but then we also have our own goals, which we call OKRs, and each team member will go through what they achieved in the previous week that was directly towards their OKRs, which is their goals for the 10-week block. We don't miss.
Yep.
And we finish at 10, and then we go to the next one.
And what I'm doing with we've got 3 relatively new trainers at the moment, and what I'm going through with them at the moment, and it's a bit of a process. This isn't something where you click your fingers and it happens. Is okay, here's your goals, here's what you got to do, and in the first week, all of them absolutely nailed it. You've got the enthusiasm. They've only just set the goals. Everything's fun and exciting in the first week,
motivated,
and then weeks 2 and weeks 3, it's like okay, in your weekly plan, when are you doing this? Oh, I don't know. Okay, well, let's set a time for when you're going to do it. And let's have that time at the same day and hour every week. So when you get to the gym, on a Tuesday you run the 2 classes, then at 7 a.m. you're going and making these calls. And then at 8 a.m. you're going and filling out this spreadsheet. And then at 9 a.m. you're doing this. so that you know every week what you're doing and
Yeah.
when. So you're taking the guesswork out of it, because that way, instead of you relying on motivation,
Yeah.
you've got the discipline and the system in place.
Yeah. And not having to rely on willpower. Like it just becomes habit once you
Yeah.
do it enough.
Because willpower is great when you've got it, and there's probably nothing more powerful than that, but it's never going to last.
No.
No one can ever keep willpower, no matter how motivated you are. Systems work.
Yeah.
Taking that willpower example, Trav, a lot of people have said to you since you became sober, wow, you're so mentally strong, you must have the strongest willpower. Well, I think you do have a strong willpower. What's your response to that?
It's not my willpower that I believe is like where my strength lies, is that I don't test my willpower. So what I mean by that is like I don't put myself in the environment that would test my willpower. You don't see me in the pub, right? Like if I'm not in the pub, how can I test my willpower in terms of not drinking? I'm not around drugs. So how can I test my willpower when I'm not around drugs? You know, I'm not around the pokies. I don't go near any of those gambling places, like, because that, like, I don't need to do that. And if I did, I'm testing my willpower. The only reason why I'm so sober is because I just don't go near them. Like I don't have to test my willpower. And like kind of stripping that back, the reason why I do that is because it's like I live my life in this lane. It's like everything in this lane is what I love and I care about. And that is like my family, Chloe, the business, everything inside. And Big Gay Patty, my friends. All my goals are in this lane. Everything outside of that lane, if it doesn't benefit those things, I don't go near it. So I just stay away from it. And so that way I don't need to test my willpower.
So you've got your system in place. We spoke earlier before about Reborn. We have quite a lot of systems, and we were very anti-system when we started.
Yeah.
So we've had to learn this. Why is it, Trav, like in business or in your personal life or in fitness, why do you think people fail when they don't have a system?
Because you find yourself kind of just, it's been on the rat wheel, where you're just going around and around in circles. You're like, why am I not getting anywhere? It's because you solve one problem here for that exact moment, but then it's just going to come back around and bite you in the ass unless you have the system that can be proven over and over and over again. So I think like where people get it wrong is like they think, oh, once they solve it, it's done. But like, no, it needs to have an actual system that is there to be done consistently.
Another point that helps with consistency is identity shift.
Yes.
Now, I've got a weight loss example around an identity shift, but I want to talk to you about your personal example of an identity shift.
Yeah.
Two types of people, say at a party, that aren't drinking at that party. All right. If I go up to you, Travis, at a party, and I don't know who you are or the fact that you're sober, with 2 beers in my hand, and I say, hey, bro, do you want a beer? What's your response?
Sorry, bro, don't drink.
I don't drink. Other examples. If I go to you and offer you a beer, what do you say?
Try not to drink.
Or I'm not drinking today.
Yeah.
Yeah. Tell us about the identity shift there. Either I'm trying not to drink or I don't drink.
Start with I'm trying not to drink or not drinking tonight. You're still identifying yourself as a drinker, that you're either having the night off or you're trying not to. But you're still a drinker, trying not to. And then the big difference is when I say I don't drink, that's just straight up, I'm not a drinker. And then you often, when you say things like that you see their eyes kind of go, yeah.
A bit standoffish. Oh, shit, sorry, mate. Sorry.
Yeah. But there's a clear difference in identity.
Yeah.
And you can almost see when they say, I'm trying not to drink, like they're shrinking into themselves.
Yeah.
Opposed to like when I say I don't drink, like I'm proud of it. I'm super proud of it. So like I'm like, nah, bro, I don't drink. So it's a completely different mindset, identity shift. And as well, it's like, for me, it's a thing of pride as well.
For Amanu, I know you don't have a microphone, but I'm going to use you as an example here.
He looks great, by the way.
You were a rugby league player, and then a bit over a year ago now, you started trying to run. It's almost like trying not to drink. And you have spoken about how difficult it was early on starting to run, and then not long later, you became a runner, right? And I know the camera can't see this, but Nu's just nodding. He looks really good too. He's got that.
Yeah.
A real like,
that
yeah,
Samoan
yeah.
look, yeah.
But the big difference there is if somebody's trying to run or they want to run a marathon, right? They're still the same person, but they're trying to do this. But if the identity shifts to being a runner, then a lot of the decisions in their life, it's just a no-brainer around, what would a runner do? Well, a runner probably runs 4 or 5 times a week. A runner gets to bed early and gets up early and runs. So like a runner gets running shoes. Like all of those little decisions is just what a runner would do. So as soon as you identify as a runner, then those obstacles are a lot easier to overcome.
We're referencing Atomic Habits
Yeah, I
awfully a
know.
lot on these podcasts.
Aren't we?
Did you know that that's where we've been talking, and then it's basically what
Yeah.
they talk about in Atomic Habits? Great.
You know, the funny thing
is that where
'cause-
your fat loss story is going to go?
Yeah. Well, I haven't actually. We often read Atomic Habits once a year, first book of the year.
Yeah.
I haven't read it yet this year, so it's been over a year since I've read it. So the cool thing is a lot of these concepts that I'm talking about, I'm not thinking, I remember reading this in Atomic Habits. It's just that this is something that I have learnt, and it's just an identity shift is, for me, an accepted fact, not, this is what I learned in Atomic Habits.
Yeah,
and
true.
I reckon that's better.
Yeah, 100%.
Yeah.
So tell the story. Cause
The fat loss example is simple. It was a lady that was trying to lose fat and went through all these diets and training programs, and nothing was successful long term. And then she just made an identity shift around even though she wasn't at the time, she treated herself like a fit person. She said she was overweight and unfit, but she identified herself as a fit person. So every micro decision in her life was, what would a fit person do? When her alarm went off, it was like, I kind of want to sleep in. But I'm a fit person. So what a fit person do? They get up and go to the gym. When she'd go out for lunch, it wasn't like, I'm trying to eat healthy. It's like, well, a fit person has a grilled chicken salad. So she just did what a fit person would do. And she said it was so simple once she made the identity shift that I'm a fit person. And then you end up becoming what you have identified as.
And that's a big like reason just there why people aren't consistent, is because they're like, they actually think they're not consistent.
There's no belief.
Yeah, you need to believe, and you need to have that identity shift where you truly believe you are that person, or you truly want to become that person, is probably a better way of saying it, and that you believe you can get there. And once you like thinking about what would a consistent person do, then you will be able to be more consistent.
And it's funny how the last podcast that we did last week, it was so long ago, even though we're wearing the same shirt, it's crazy, around ego and confidence, like about how it can actually be beneficial. So having like, when I am, for example, in the middle of a workout, and like my identity is like, I like to identify as myself that like I'm tough when a workout gets tough. And so I've been in workouts before. This is going to sound like a wanker comment, but full transparency here. And I'm saying to myself, like, you're an animal. You can wear these blokes down. You're an animal. You'll be able to keep going. Like, I've got that identity in myself. And Trav, I can see you smiling and nodding because you don't have to admit it, but I know that you're exactly the same. But that's the identity that I give myself.
I was thinking about you this morning, Paddy. We were doing the Harper style session. It's normally you and I on the ski going 1-for-1, and I'm like, this is where Paddy will be. And I was smirking because I speak to you the same way I speak to Moo Moo in my head, where I'm like, you're my big boy.
Yep.
Because you're the power,
Yes.
right? So when we get to that, I'm like, Pat, he's our big boy. He's going to be the power on the ski. And you've talked about the fact that you have that in your head. You're like, I'm the biggest in this room. I need to be holding the biggest numbers.
Yep.
And it becomes like, I'm the identity. And like, respectfully, you're not the biggest guy in the room, but you tell yourself that.
It's a self-fulfilling prophecy.
Yeah.
I tell myself that, and that like confidence and ego, like I truly believe it. And then the body does what the mind tells it.
Yeah. I love that. And yes, I was thinking about myself when you were like, in that moment, you're like, as soon as you get there, I'm like, we're just going to grind them out.
Yeah.
We're going to get there.
But it's the identity shift.
Yeah.
Whatever you have as your identity. And you did touch on a point before. It's not that you necessarily believe you are that thing at the start, but it might be that you want to be that thing.
Yeah.
So it's like, it's almost like a fake it till you make it. Like you have to believe yourself, you can get there, or that you are there and it will eventually happen.
Yeah.
So even if you're not there, it's the overweight lady who has the identity of a fit lady, right?
Yeah.
She had already believed that she's there, then it happens.
All right, so how can we help our listeners out there be more consistent?
I think confidence is a very difficult thing around, like, you need to have the confidence to then do something, but you often have to do something to then get the confidence.
You need the reps.
But I think the biggest one is systems.
Yeah.
Like, make it a foolproof plan of getting to where you want to be by putting the system in place, because then you don't have to worry about willpower, because willpower helps at the start, but it never lasts. So I think the system is the big thing. And then my biggest tip is going to be around that identity shift. See yourself as the person you want to become.
I couldn't agree more. Just getting into those routines, sticking to that routine even when times get tough, to develop that confidence that we've been talking about, but also develop that resilience as well. Because then that, like we were saying in the last podcast, that then develops the discipline as well. And then you don't have to rely on willpower. And when you start becoming more and more consistent, it then reaffirms that identity that you're trying to achieve as well. But if you think of yourself as a consistent person over and over and over again, eventually you will be that person. That's us.
Yeah.
Well done, guys. All right. Till next time. Peace.